Hello, Dr. Jones. This is Kyle Elrod. I did my paper and I'm doing my presentation on United Parcel Service and the supply chain management activities that they use in order to be successful. A little bit of background about the company is they've been around since 1907, so they're doing something right. The company's been around for over 100 years. Uh, it was founded by James Casey. A little fun fact is UPS, they first started delivering on bikes. They eventually went to package cars, but actually the first package cars were red and not brown. I know that's something that a lot of people don't know, so that's a little fun fact to throw out there. They actually changed them to brown in order to wash the trucks less, so they could save money. So a little bit of fun fact. Like I said in my email, I worked there for 3 years, so hopefully I can provide a little bit of insight that some others couldn't when talking about the company. So UPS, the main thing I talk about in my paper is how important effective operations management is that they use. So there's three main areas that are in every UPS. There's a couple other areas we could touch on, but these are the three main areas that affect the company way more so than others. So loading or outbounds, inbounds or unload, and small sort. So the most key area at UPS, I feel like, is loading. So these are the employees that a package comes down the belt, and they'll verify the city state zip of the package. They won't load any damaged packages. If they do, it'll come back on a end of the day report. So they measure these service numbers, and they find out which loader did what. So everything's measured. So these are the employees that are the last man standing before the package is eventually gone from the facility. So like I said, a package comes down the belt, they'll verify the city, state, and zip, and the label should look like this. That is your basic UPS label. So they'll verify that. If everything matches up, they'll load the package. If they don't check for any of those and the package gets loaded anyway, this could result in a misload, which overall leads to a big disruption in the supply chain because the customer is going to get their package weeks later than expected. So employees trained in load and measuring those service numbers are extremely critical if UPS is going to be successful or not. So then we can talk about unload a little bit. Unload, their main service number in order to be successful is damages. So ensuring that the packages are taken care of and placed on the belt easily and not thrown onto the belt is a good way in order to prevent damages. So if a package gets put on a belt that's damaged or open and it gets caught in the belt, this could also lead to a longer downtime. So the whole entire facility is going to be down until an mechanical engineer can get the contents out of the belt. So that could lead to your forecasted downtime being changed dramatically, and overall the strategic plan that you had set dramatically differed. So unload is pretty important, and small sort is also important because they're putting packages into bags and the loaders are only checking the outside label and not the packages in the bag. So if the small sort employee puts the wrong packages in the bag, then this could lead to misloads. So packages are coming down a belt, and they'll grab the package and they'll make sure it goes to the certain city state zip that each bag has. So small sort is also pretty important. So those are the three main areas at UPS. All right, another in operations management. Each area they train employees dramatically. They have a week-long class in each area, so they take the time to train each individual in each area so they know how important they are in order to create customer satisfaction. Another supply chain management activity that UPS uses extremely well is strategic planning. Strategic planning at UPS is a huge deal because knowing what volume you're going to get 3 months ahead, that's going to make things that much easier on you to plan for it. So I remember my old boss at UPS, his name was Jay Briggs. He used to always tell me what would happen in 5 months. So if he knows what's going to happen in 5 months, he knows that he needs 41 unloaders, and he knows that he needs 82 loaders for that day. He knows how many individuals he needs in order to get the job done. So UPS takes strategic planning very seriously. Another thing or another supply chain management activity that UPS takes seriously is logistics. Basically, what I like to think about logistics is how a package gets from point A to point B to point C, point D, and so on. But mainly at UPS, we can break it down and make it simple: point A, point B, point C. Point A would be the supplier. Like I said in my paper, I chose AT&T. UPS ships all of AT&T. It's point A, supplier. Point B, distributor, distributor, distribution company, such as UPS, would be point B. Point C would be the consumer. So how the package is getting from point A to point B to point C is basically logistics. So UPS does an excellent job at studying the movement of goods through the supply chain. So they actually can track your package online. That helps a lot. And they have customer stores around pretty much every city. I know there's like 3 in Memphis. So they do a pretty good job at maintaining effective logistic service. So UPS, they focus on operations management. They focus on strategic planning, knowing what volume they're going to get ahead of time, and they focus on providing the best logistic service in the world. And I feel like these are the 3 key factors in why UPS is still around today after 100 years. So that's a little bit about the company. In my paper, I touched on everything more. I know I'm already over time, but yeah, UPS, pretty great company. Thank you, Dr. Jones.